Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiffany and in today's video we are going to be renovating my powder room. Now this makeover has been a long time coming. I have been wanting to do something different and I've wanted to do something a little outside of my element, my comfort zone. And so we're going to be doing that today. I'm so excited. We're going to be doing a full farmhouse transformation. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's take a little look at the bathroom for a second. So this is our powder room, half bath, whatever you want to call it. Just a sink and a toilet. You could call it a water closet. I've heard all different kinds of things, but just this fun, sweet little bathroom. And I used to love this space. I still love this space. I just feel like it could be a lot more. So this little vanity I made from an antique piece of furniture I bought when I first moved here, and I think it's perfect for the space. I do believe that it was used for a bathroom. It did have a wood top, and then it did have a piece that went across the back for, you know, holding a towel or something like that. So you could have put a wash basin on top. But we did purchase this remnant piece of quartz and had it cut to match the wood that was on it originally, and it just turned out really beautiful. The color of this is Underground Gardens by Bear, and it's really, really pretty, but we're gonna be changing that up in this video. So this is what the bathroom currently looks like. Danny made those shelves there. We're not really sure what's gonna end up there, but let me show you what we're working with. So one of the things I'm most excited about for this project is wallpaper. I picked up this wallpaper on Wayfair. It is called Pasture, I believe, and it's by yorkwall.com, and it's hard to see when it's all wrapped up, but as you can see right there, there's some cute little sheep, there's cows, there's barns and trees, and I think it's really beautiful, and I think it's gonna look really great. Like I said, we are fully leaning into the farmhouse vibe, and first thing to go is gonna be this paint. So this paint is the color Pale Oak. Shockingly, it's the same paint as out here. This just has natural light, and this has no natural light, and so it definitely looks very different in there. It's got a very green tint to it, so I'm looking forward to getting rid of that. And we're also gonna be adding in some paneling as well. We love to do paneling in our home. We have done board and batten, we've done beadboard, and we've also done vertical shiplap paneling, which is what we're gonna be doing today. And we're gonna go bold. We're gonna paint it a dark color. I'm gonna be using Cracked Pepper by Bear today, and I cannot wait for this full transformation. So let's get started. First things first, we're gonna make our way around the bathroom and take down all of the existing decor. I went ahead and just put this to the side. I had set up a table out in my hallway, and I wanted to make sure that I kept everything close by because I'd like to use as much as I can of this existing decor to redecorate. Once everything was down, Danny went ahead and marked up the wall so that we'd be able to get started with wallpaper. He started off by drawing a straight line up the wall. That would allow for me to straighten out the wallpaper as we put it up. And then he also drew a line all around the room for where the trim would start. Okay, really quickly, so Danny went around the room and marked off the top of where the paneling will go, and then he also gave me a straight line for starting the wallpaper. So I'm gonna do the wallpaper first, and then we're gonna do the paneling afterward, because that way if I don't have like super straight edges with the wallpaper, that's fine, it's gonna be covered by the paneling. So that's why I had him do this line for me. The other thing too is we did not worry about taking out like all these studs over there that we had for the shelves, because this, I'm gonna put the wallpaper over it and there's no shower in here. If there was a shower, we would want to take those out and fill those in because you don't want there to be any kind of opportunity for moisture to grow behind your wallpaper. But because there's no shower in here and there's no like buildup of steam or anything like that, I'm not worried about it. So I'm not gonna stress about that right now. And then we're also gonna leave this in for putting up the towel rack again. This is a space that they filled in before we moved in, and it has needed to be fixed since we moved in 2 years ago, and I've never fixed it, and now we're just gonna cover it up. So that is what we're working with. I still need to take all of this stuff out of here. Here's a quick look at my supplies for the wallpaper. So I just have a tray. I've got a paint roller, and this is the roller that's going on that. It is for adhesive and epoxy. I also have this, what does it say? Smoother and utility knife kit. It's for wallpaper. This is for adding extra paste when I get like up to the edges, just making sure that I have enough on the edges. This is the epoxy we're going to be using. It is strippable wallpaper adhesive, ultra clear strippable, and I just got a small one because we're not doing a huge ton of space. And my paper says that this is paste to paper, not paste to wall. So I have to put the paste on the paper and then put it on the wall. So with that being said, Danny is going to get me another table to lay out right here so that I can pull that out and put the paste on the piece of paper and put it on the wall. You're also gonna hear my laundry going because I just started some laundry, but basically I'm just going to cut a piece that's a little bit longer than what I need right here. I think that's like a little less than 4 feet because we're having the paneling come up a little bit above halfway. So I'll cut the piece, I'll put the adhesive on it, and then I'll stick it on the wall, and then we'll trim it down. I have always wanted to wallpaper a space. I think wallpaper is so pretty and such a fun way to bring in a new type of decor. And I've always been very intimidated by it. I remember the days in the 80s and early 90s when I would see family members dipping the wallpaper into bathtubs to get it wet and activated and then bringing it into the room. And that always felt so overwhelming. Wallpaper today is very different. I did not use a peel and stick. I've seen horror stories about those as well, not staying put. So I am using a very easy application method, and that's just by using adhesive that you roll onto the wall and then you place your wallpaper. So lots and lots of different types of tutorials here on YouTube. Just look up wallpaper installation and you'll find all different methods. Find the one that works for you. At first, I would trim the pieces down and stick them up, but that required an extra body. As you see here, I have Danny helping me because it was so rolled up tight that it would just kind of roll under and stick to the wall. So instead, I started just putting the roll on the floor and pulling it up all the way to the top and getting it in place and then cutting it. You're going to need a scraper to get it nice and smooth, get all your air bubbles and any excess adhesive, and it's super easy. Then you're just going to line up your next piece and keep the process going. It is kind of tedious and it takes a while, but to be honest with you, it was way more simple than I thought it was going to be, and it makes such a huge impact. The one thing I forgot to record myself doing is going back with a wet sponge that's clean and wiping off any adhesive. This can come off. You can steam it and just peel it right off or get it wet and peel it off, but I think it looks so beautiful and it really was so very simple. Once you have it placed where you want it, just go back in with some kind of straight edge or a razor, slice off the excess, and you're ready to do the next piece. This was a drop pattern, so you just line it up and keep going. You don't have to overlap anything, but I did overlap just a tiny bit, like probably 1/16 of an inch, just enough to make sure that my lines were all complete.
I also used a small paintbrush to get up to the top there to make sure that I had adhesive all the way up to the crease of the wall. But as you can see this time, I just had it laying on the floor and it didn't roll up underneath, which was so much easier. Continue to check to make sure that your wallpaper is going up straight so that it's not getting wonky. You'll want to make sure you start off with a corner that you're not going to notice as much, because as you wrap around the room, that's where you're going to finish and your lines are not going to match up. So make sure that that is in an inconspicuous space.
Okay, so here's a look at where we're at right now. I did turn the camera off for a little while we did this, because this is actually incredibly tedious and you really have to like pay attention to what you're doing, and it was taking a long time and I was feeling stressed that the camera was just rolling. So the big thing that you have to understand when you're putting up wallpaper is that you have to find the seams, you know what I mean? And they have to match. Like this is a seam, you wouldn't know it. And the way that this print is, like this is a seam right here, you wouldn't know it. Like it's the way that this print is designed, it's made specifically for those seams to just blend in, and they do an excellent job. So absolutely loving this wallpaper so much. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna wait patiently for the next roll because we mismeasured. Danny mismeasured. I'm gonna throw him under the bus. So we just have this to do, and then up top, and then this little sliver right here. That's gonna be fun. So we're gonna wait for that. But in the meantime, he did bring in one of the paneling pieces, and we're gonna start working on that. He's cutting this other piece right here, but we're gonna start putting these up, and these we can get all the way around, and I can at least get those painted while we wait for the rest of the wallpaper to come in. And I've got some really great like finishing touches. I've got a new faucet, I've got new pieces, so I can't wait to show you.
We have done lots of different types of paneling here in our house, and my favorite currently is this easy shiplap paneling. You can do it horizontally or vertically like we're doing here. Danny cut it down to size and is just adding it to the top of our baseboards. And then he added this piece of trim here to the top. It's just a 3-inch piece of wood, and this just gives it a really nice finished top. I love this look. I think that it gives it, you know, a nice kind of old world touch. And for the top trim piece, we decided to go with a piece that had a little bit of a round to it. We wanted something different. I wasn't going to be using it as a picture ledge or anything, just a decorative trim to make it look finished. To attach everything to the wall, he used tiny little nails, and then we went back in with caulk all through the seams to make it look nice and seamless and give it a finished look. I also went around the room with liquid nails to fill in all of the nail holes and let that dry overnight.
Okay, my friends, it has been quite a few days since last time I checked in, but we have been slowly plucking away at the bathroom. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you what we've gotten done. We're still waiting on that last roll of wallpaper. It was supposed to be delivered today. It is almost 3:30 in the afternoon. Should be here at any point. But let me show you what we've got going on and what we're gonna do next. So here's where we're at. All of the paneling is in, and We have put in the trim up here on top, and then we also added this like decorative piece up here. And I went in and filled all of the nail holes with liquid nail, and then we're just gonna come back in here in a second and sand it down just to make it nice and smooth. But we're just waiting on one last roll of toilet paper to finish here behind the mirror. And then we just need to do up here above the door. And this little sliver right there. But in the meantime, while we wait for the rest of this gorgeous wallpaper that I am obsessed with, we're gonna go ahead and start sanding and then painting. This is a part I've been looking forward to the most. I cannot wait to show you the color that we're doing in here.
I wanted the trim to look like it had been there for a long time. I didn't want anything to look like it was too polished or too finished. And so I really didn't sand things down too much, and I also didn't prime. I just wanted everything to look like it was in an old farmhouse and had been there for a long time. Here is the paint color that we're using today. This is Cracked Pepper by Behr. It was actually their color of the year last year, I believe. And it is this beautiful, cool black. It does have some blue undertone to it. I wanted something in this room that wasn't going to pull too warm since there's no natural light in this room. I love this color. I knew I wanted a bold color. I actually am doing this based off of my favorite restaurant. It is down in Putnam, Connecticut. It's called Elizabeth's Farmhouse, and their entire restaurant is a gorgeous matte black, and I am obsessed. It is farmhouse to a T and absolutely beautiful, and every time I'm in there, I've tried to figure out how I can live there. And so instead of moving into my favorite restaurant, I brought a little piece of it home with me. And when I showed a picture of it to my neighbors, one of my friends said that was exactly what it reminded her before I even told her that that was my inspiration. So I am obsessed with how this turned out. We're going to go ahead and work our way around the room and get started painting. I'm using a paintbrush to get in between each piece of shiplap, and then I used a small roller to roll each piece. I did go back and paint all of the baseboards as well. Thank you, Danny, for helping me with that. I believe in painting the baseboard the same color as your wall trim anytime you're doing paneling like this. I think it just helps to make the wall look taller. I don't like the look of the white baseboard with the colored trim or the colored paneling. I just think it really does make the wall look so much bigger if you paint the bottom baseboard the same color as the rest. So I just worked my way around the room. I did also paint the inside of the door frame black so that it matched. I decided not to paint the inside of the door, however, so that way when it was open, it wasn't really bold and black in the hallway. We also replaced the light switches with black light switches and the GFI with a black GFI. That way everything just looked really seamless along the wall. I did also replace the trash can. I added a black trash can and a black toilet bowl cleaner so that way everything just blended in super nicely and it looked really sharp. Now it's time for the fun part. It's time to put the bathroom back together. We're getting started by putting up one of the shelves that Danny had made from before. And we're actually just using the same holes and the same anchors that were already there. We left them behind the wallpaper and we're just reattaching this to the wall. We did only use one since there wasn't as much space, and I think it looks perfect. I love the wood. It brings in really great warmth into the bathroom. I also picked up this new decor piece. This is from Magnolia Home, and I am obsessed. It's this set of 4 wall hooks in this gorgeous brass color, and I think it looks stunning. So Danny went ahead and put in anchors first. Then he's going to go ahead and drill this on so that it stays put. I'm not going to hang anything substantial, but I think it's just such a great decor piece. We're also going to add in a new brass toilet paper holder, and I did also pick up a brass handle for the toilet as well as the faucet. We just have not added those yet. We also added in a new towel holder to just bring in more touches of that warmth, and I think it looks perfect. I am on the hunt for a new mirror for this bathroom. I do think this one kind of gets lost, but this is from Hobby Lobby, and I do like the wood element of it. I think it's very pretty, but I think something warm would look really nice here. So I'm going to keep my eye open for that. I purchased this fake pothos plant from Target. I actually have one of these already in my coffee bar, and I love how full it is. Since there's no actual light in here, I decided to bring in a faux plant. I also have this basket from Hearth & Hand at Target as well, filled with a couple of washcloths just to bring in a different type of texture. And then I'm also going to layer in these delicious smelling goat milk soaps. They're just for decor, but they smell really, really good, and it does fill the room for sure. I am also going to bring in a beautiful copper watering can. Yes, it's the bathroom, but I thought that this brought in such a pretty element, and it would be perfect for the spring or any time of the year, to be honest. I'm also hanging this beautiful basket from Target here on the hooks, and I'm filling it with these new seeded eucalyptus stems, also from Target. I'll try to remember to link everything I can for you down below. If I forget anything, don't hesitate to ask. I'm also hanging a faux fern here from the ceiling to bring in some more greenery and just to fill this empty corner. I think it's really pretty, and that's from Hobby Lobby. I'm bringing in this small riser and this galvanized tin here from Walmart, and I'm filling it with some gumdrop eucalyptus stems I picked up from magnolia.com. These were on sale for $11 a stem, and I think they look so realistic, and I love the muted green. I think it's such a fun and different color. You guys know I'm such a sucker for eucalyptus, so I use all different types all throughout my home. I also have this little wooden tiered tray from the Target Dollar Spot many years ago, and I'm filling it with this little hand scrub here that has a cute little spoon, a rolled up towel, and a yummy smelling soap from TJ Maxx. This sign here is from Hobby Lobby. We actually moved this here from my Las Vegas house and I love it. I think it's so cute, kind of has that chalkboard feel to it, and I think it suits my family perfectly. I'm hanging it here with a command strip and I think it just fills the space and looks really, really beautiful. The final touch we're going to bring in is a new rug for the floor. I wanted something that brought in another little bit of the farmhouse feel, so I snagged this rug from Target. This is from Hearth and Hand, and I think it is perfect for this new little bathroom. And that's going to bring us to the end of this little bathroom makeover. Thank you guys so much for joining me in today's video. I hope that you enjoyed coming along with us as we transformed this space. This was one of my favorite spaces in my house when we first moved in, and I definitely fell back in love with this tiny little bathroom. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to put them down below. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a big thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, my friends.